So, before we start everything, I need you guys to come here. No, actually, I wanted you guys to come here, but the organization is against me and against you, so I'm going to do something worse. I'm going to come over here, and I will ask volunteers, okay? So don't sweat, don't sweat. Volunteers to give their best evil love. Because when you have, okay, right here, okay. Before I go with this volunteer over here, that is a strong contender, I can feel that over here. I'm going to explain you the competition. So, you know, every villain have an evil love, right? An iconic evil laugh, or maybe less iconic, but they all have that laugh that is very, very weird, creepy, and you know, the minute they start laughing, you're like, okay, this one is a villain, you know, because no hero is right. So I'm going to show you my evil laugh, and then I will need some people in the audience to try and give their best evil laugh, and then we're going to vote for the best evil laugh. And you will win nothing. Yeah, okay? Yeah, because I'm not the land, so yeah, like, don't get crazy, okay? So, this is my evil laugh. Get ready. No, that's not. Oh, thank you, but I'm not in the competition. I'm the one judging you guys because I'm the pro. Okay. So we have the first volunteer here. What's your name? Elvira. Okay. Can you stand up? Come here. Come on. So sadly, I don't have any mic, so you will have to scream because you know the guy over here.
It doesn't hear me. Okay.
Like, yeah, he needs to hear you. So I need you to scream so loud that he's going to flip from his seat over here, okay?
You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
I'm channeling my inner...
Okay, woo! Okay. So, anyone willing to try? Please come on. Oh, yes, thank you. Okay, can you stand up, please? Yes, go ahead. Oh, wait, what's your name? Ralph. Oh, that's a villain name. Look at Elvira, Ralph. Oh, only villain name here. I love this. Okay, let's go. Okay, good one. Is someone brave? Okay, come on. So many guys here, but I don't see any bravery. What's up? Come on, guys, please. Come. Oh, thank you. We can applaud him. Woo! You are brave, monsieur. I love that. What's your name?
Ralph too.
No way. So, okay. So, for the fourth one, I need another Ralph, please. If your name is Ralph, you have to stand up. Okay. Go ahead, Ralph number 2. I love your attitude. Like, you go crazy and then, like, I love that. Okay. Fourth one, and we're done. Last one, please. One last one. Ralph number 3. Please, Ralph? Is someone named Ralph here? Ralph, I know there is another Ralph. I can feel it. Ralph? Oh, Ralph! Are you the best? Oh, okay. You have to go. Come on.
All right, whatever.
Woo! Your name is Ralph.
Ralph.
Yeah! Okay, let's go. But why are you so shy? It's good. Okay, so I'm going to go over the other names, and you will clap if you love that laugh the most, okay? So number 1, Elvira. Okay. Ralph number 1, over here. Okay. Okay, so Ralph number 1 is leading. Ralph number 2. Woo! Okay, and Ralph number 3. No, it's number 3. I'm sorry. Number 2. Even your friends didn't help you. Like, come on. Okay, thank you. Ralph number 3. You can stand up and everyone applaud. Woo! Okay, so you might be wondering, what the hell is this talk? Like, it's been 10 minutes and people are just screaming, laughing, and forcing all the racists here to stand up and do weird laugh. Okay, I'm not going to answer this question. I just, no, well, because I'm a villain, so I do whatever I want. You are all my prisoners here. So you have to endure this talk even if it makes no sense, okay? That's it. So, now we are going over the whole talk. For this talk, which is, I will tell you again, it's evil tech, how developers became villains. I would like you guys, I think I will go back to the other slide because it was very cool. Like, I did it on Midjourney. I was like, oh my god, it came out so well. So it was a prompt where I was like, can you show me all the villains as developers? So I would like you guys to imagine a world where all of you guys are villains, okay? That's why I did the little evil love to get you into the mood, into the character, okay? So that's you guys. So, you might wonder, why is she talking about villain? What is a villain? I'm not a villain. Well, actually, I feel like the term villain is misunderstood, but thank God there is the dictionary, so I looked online on Merriam-Webster. What is a villain? So I will just go quickly. It's just like the mandatory slide, so that I look like I've done some research and it's not completely rubbish and made up. Okay, so number 1 is a character in a story or play who opposes the hero. So basically, a villain is not necessarily a bad person. It's just someone in a story who is standing in the way of the hero. So in some stories, actually the hero could be the bad guy. But just because you are trying to stop him or her, you become the villain. You can think of any TV show, series, movies, which you can apply. And of course, you can also see the reverse, where of course the villain is a bad person and the hero is a good person. That's the most common thing. The second one is a criminal. Well, I don't need you to explain. I don't need to explain this one. And the third one, which is I feel like the most relevant, one blamed for a particular evil or difficulties. So basically, it's not necessarily a bad person, it's just people say, oh, you're the bad one. So, developers, are we the villains? I look online a bit. I feel like nowadays, if you just look up AI or you know, anything regarding the how technology right now is at, every stories are negative. It's all about, oh my god, AI is taking over, robots are taking over, developers are trying to break our minds, are trying to, you know, do bad things. It's never, oh, look at these nice developers, they're making the society so much better. No, it's not happening. So, with I took like a few articles with just the title, so you can see that the media often doesn't show a nice view of developers, and it ties back to the definition that I showed earlier. Now, and when I show you this, is to show that, you know, developers in the media are more or less villains. Let's be real. Now, if I go over developers, but as the antagonist, it's more like we're not really villains. We are just standing in the way of the hero, you know? I know that nowadays people say, oh, you are the main characters, Though, so we have to think of a possible main character, and us developer are standing in the way of that. Do you have any idea of the main character? Who is that? No. User. So, yeah, okay. But I'm going to say no because I said so. The main character is society here. So basically, for society, developers could be a villain because developers get in the way of the good functioning of society, in the sense that with all the recent how to say all the recent bad news concerning technology, it feels like, oh, every time, you know, we are going forward, it feels like technology is taking us in the wrong way, you know. So in order to make it more sense, I wanted to show you this beautiful wheel. It's based on Shalom H. Schwartz's theory of basic human values. So Shalom H. Schwartz is a philosophist, a sociologist, who looked all the society in the world and tried to find similar values among all the societies in the world. And he found all of this. So all these values can be found in every society in the world. And then he just put them in different categories. So openness to change, self-transcendence, conservation, and self-enhancement. So why I'm showing you this is just that since we are talking about evil tech, it's more about ethics. And you know, the subject of ethics, it's not really, you know, I can, oh my god. Sorry, but I just saw someone cringe. Oh, ethics! Oh my god, I've been misled. I thought it was about superhero and villains. Why are you talking about ethics? No, because it was a lie. It's more about ethics. So for ethics, it's more like, you know, of course it's morality, right and wrong, but it's a subject that is very subjective. You know, it depends on the country you are in, the culture you are in. Depending on all these parameters, you will have different version of what is right, what is wrong, what is moral, what is immoral. And with this reel, we can sort of see how in different societies in the world we can how to say, have the values that are valued on one part, and the how to say. I'm just going to. There is one thing I didn't explain because it's a bit weird when I say this. In this wheel, each part that are on the opposite side are actually the contrary, the reverse. So, for example, you have security, self-direction. Self-direction is all about freedom. And security is more about, you know, protecting people, and they are clashing values. So why I'm showing you this is because in order to think about how us developers become villains, actually, it's not that we become villains. It's just that depending on the new technology that are being developed in one country or in another, in the way it is perceived in different countries will be different. What do I mean? For example, here we'll take security versus self-direction. In some society, there are like new softwares that are being developed in order to protect the people. So more about surveillance. So in society that values a lot of the security, the safety, the stability of the country, of the people, then this type of software will be seen as a good software, as a way to improve society. But if you are from a country that is big on self-direction, big on freedom, you will see this as an infringement of your liberty. You will see that you will see people that develop this type of software as villains. Whereas in the country where they are big on security, they are heroes. So where I'm going with this, depending on what you develop, you will be seen as a villain or as a hero uh, in different society, or even within the society in different cultures. And this is where we can see why there is such how to say a difficult a difficult reaction in the media, because of course I show you some headlines, in English, but you can type in German or in any languages, you will see that depending on new software that are being developed, you will see a different reaction. And this is where we have like this sort of tension, where some people think we are going in the right way, some people think we are going in the wrong way. So here we are trying to put this together, and think about what you think, like develop your own thinking regarding this in order to help you as a developer in your own workplace to ask yourself some question regarding what you are doing. Because I feel like as developers, maybe it's just me, but we are not always thinking, oh, I am going to harm the society if I write this software. Of course not, Well, I feel like most people don't want to harm anything. They don't even think that it might have very, very bad outcomes, But I feel like we should add more of this type of question. We should take more of a step back when we create a feature or any type of software to really think about whether it could have some bad outcomes for certain people, certain users, and other stakeholders. And it's the same for power versus universalism, of course. So, I know I show you like philosophy, sociology, you're like, oh my god, what is this conference? It's a tech conference or psychology conference? Well, we are still going here, so I think when I look up for this conference, sorry, I'm just going to. So when I looked up tech ethics, there was one thing that surprised me, is that I don't know if you guys are aware, but there are some companies that created a code of ethics for software development. It was back in 1997, and they got together, and they tried to find values that should be respected when creating software. So these are the 8 values. I'm not going to go over all of them, but basically it's all about making sure that what you are creating is in the public interest. So it's going to be a good thing for society. It's going to be good for your client, for your employer, of course, in terms of performance, in terms of quality. The project is going to be bug-free, or at least don't have ton of bugs, as little bugs as possible, and so on, But the problem with this code of ethics is great, but it's very rigid, and technology is flexible. Everything changes, It's difficult to and it was over 20 years ago that they created this code, So it's difficult to take this code and apply it to every situation when, when it comes to tech ethics, it's so muddy in the sense that, it depends on the perception, on the outcomes. Yeah, there are so many parameters that, like, you cannot just use like 8 points to see if it's good or not. It's too complex to just use something like this. That's why there were some researchers that try to get together and look at the tech ethics right now is at, you know. So when it comes to all the research papers that are being made nowadays, only 16% of research paper regarding software engineering, software development, talk about ethics. Only 16%. So not even 20%. It's a very, so it's growing, but it's a niche subject. It's not really an important topic for a researcher, for, you know, for software developers. And when they look at the publication that talk a bit about ethics, the big topics regarding ethics that are being talked about is security and privacy. That's it. So when people say, "Oh, tech ethics," they just think, "Oh, security and privacy." When there are so many more things other than that, and you can see that in the media, everywhere, even in your head. You know, when you think tech ethics, you think, "Oh, yeah, data privacy." You don't think about anything else. When actually, it's much more larger than this. So here, it's a bit like sort of, I guess, cake, like ugly wedding cake, like gothic wedding cake. And it's all the stakeholders that you can find when you create software. So in the center, it's all about the user of the software. So you have the end user, the government, the organization. In the middle, you have, in black, you have all the people that are building the software. And the red part, it's all the third parties that are affected positively or negatively by software, you know, but indirectly, yeah. So why I'm showing this is just that when it comes to ethics, the thing that you might wonder is how can I be a more ethical software developer when ethics is such a subjective topic, when it depends on your own values, on the value on the country you are in, on your family, on, you know, the environment you are in. Well, you can start by, so it's a method that some researcher came up with. It's basically the ugly gothic wedding cake. That's the name I gave it. So you have to first think about all the stakeholders that are in the software that you are creating or updating. So I'm just going to go back to the previous slide. So here, so for example, you create the software. So you might think, oh, okay, so in the middle, oh, of course, that's the users. Here are the designer, the manager, the developers. And then you might think, oh, maybe the government, organization, society. And then, that's where it's interesting, you need to think about the concerns that they might have regarding the software that you are making. For example, I just pick like the most, I guess, obvious concerns. In the middle, for the end user, the concern could be, for example, for any software that you make, the privacy violation. Is my data going to be shared with, I don't know, random people in a random country, or is it going to be sold to insurance companies? I'm going to be affected. I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, but you know, you might be like, where is my data going? Is it being sold? I am the product. You know, that's the concern the end user might have. In the middle, you have the concern that developers, managers, designers might have when they make a project. Is my so for example, as a developer, you might be like, the software that I'm making, I might be afraid that the data that I'm collecting is going to be taken by a third party. You know, for example, if there is a security breach, or someone from another department might come across something it shouldn't see. You know, because sometimes in companies only a small amount of people can see certain data. You know, how can I keep monitoring the data that I'm collecting while not infringing the privacy of the user? Could be like if you're trying to be ethical as a developer, you might try to think of new ways to respect the privacy of the user and make sure that the data that is collected is being is not going to be how to say, robbed, you know, like that there is not going to be any people that are going to hack your system and then get you fired, okay? And then, of course, the last cycle, it's about, you know, third parties. What might be their concern regarding your project? I'm thinking the most obvious one would be the EU, with all the data privacy law. You know, they might be concerned about how software companies are developing their apps, or they are collecting data, what they are doing with it. And there are laws that are being made, that have been made in the past. I am restricting the law or not, you know. So this Gothic wedding cake can help you think about how to be more ethical by thinking about the concern of the stakeholders in a software development system. When I was looking at a research paper regarding, like I said, the violation of privacy, I found something very interesting. It's like it's a quote. I'm going to read it quickly. A common example was the value privacy, which from a software engineering perspective is clearly aligned with the category security and yet appears in self-direction according to SVS. So SVS is the, you know, the wheel that I showed earlier with all the 4 colors. So what does it mean? Because honestly, even when I read it, I don't understand. But thankfully for you guys, I remember the explanation. So basically, this wall of text means that, to give some context, because it's a bit out of the blue, people that developed the ugly Gothic wedding cake that I showed you were doing some tests, you know, some research on the end user and how they feel about software development, about software being made, and what they found about their concerns, you know, regarding this. And what they found is that the one thing that they value is their privacy. And then they look at the developers and they look at their concern regarding software development, and they found out that the one thing they value is security. Now, why I am talking about this is that privacy and security, they don't only security in the SVS, so the round wheel, there is only security. Privacy doesn't exist as a value. And the two together are actually the same thing. No, are not actually the same thing, because privacy is not seen as it's not in the SVS. It's not seen as a security part. How to say? Basically, you know, for end user, the most important thing is privacy. For developers, is security. And in the software engineering world, we see privacy and security as a bit of the same thing, as a bit of the same, as being in the same bag. But when we look at what the sociologists are saying, so outside of our tech world, they think that privacy is more of a self-direction value. What do I mean by that? For them, the value privacy is about liberty, and security is about security. So, blah, 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 blah. What does it say? What I'm saying is, when end users say, I value privacy, what they truly mean is, I value liberty. I value my freedom. I want to keep my data. I don't want anything to happen to it. But when software developers think of security, they mean, we need to make sure that the data isn't going to be breached or blah, blah, blah. But it's not the same thing. The end user, they don't really care about security. They want freedom. You know, that's why there is such a tension, because you know the people that are how to say, that are critical regarding the state of software development, they are critical because they feel like something is being taken away from them, their liberty is being infringed. But in the tech world, we don't really see that. We don't see a lot of that angle of freedom. We see more like, you know, maybe we should make sure to make, you know, new ways to, you know, make sure that the data isn't being stolen. But we don't really think, oh, maybe we should make sure that, you know, the user are feeling, how to say, they're not feeling stolen from. They're not feeling frustrated, you know. So there is like a big disconnect between what the end user are valuing, what they are cherishing, and what the developing world is concerned about. Big disconnect, and that's what they found out with that survey, you know. That they don't speak the same language, basically. One speak German, one speak English. That's the, and now, like I said previously, that's your ugly winged cake. You can take a picture if you want, or don't, because it's ugly. But that's what I want you guys to come out of this talk as a way to, I guess, be more ethical. It's just to develop more empathy. And when I say empathy, it's not, oh, the poor user or the poor society, blah, blah, blah. It's more, how do I put myself in other shoes? That's true empathy. It's the capacity of being able to see what others are seeing, feel what others are feeling. And that's how you can start your own ugly gothic wedding cake, and maybe take a step back. If you are, so I know it's difficult sometimes, because for me at work, I'm often in a rush, you know. We have like tight deadlines, and we don't have the time to have like long meeting or long hours to just sit back and think of ethic, you know. But I know that all developers at some point in the development process, they have more time, you know. So one thing that you can do on top of maybe, you know, polishing your code is maybe if you have, I feel like all of us, deep inside of us, we sometimes feel uneasy about certain things. You know, you might think, oh, I coded this, or we started this feature, but it's a bit, you know, I feel like maybe we should do better, or maybe. So when you have this feeling inside of you, and you have some time to think more about it, to dig deeper, you can think of your ugly gothic wendy cake, and just try to think of the concern from the different stakeholders, and from that you can reach a conclusion as to what you can do better to make a more ethical software product. That's it. That's me. Thank you for listening to me. And if you have any question, I don't know if you have any time, I'm okay to listen to your question and answer, maybe or not. Thank you. Any question? No. Don't be shy, or if you don't have any question, it's okay. Oh, okay. So I'm going to sorry? More specific example on empathy?
Yeah, or just other recommendations to close the gap.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to repeat the question. Great question. So she said, do you have any recommendation on how to build empathy, and how to bridge the gap between how the end user might feel and how you, the developer, should go forward. So for empathy, honestly, I don't really have any recommendation. I'm going to be honest. I think what you could do is go from the definition of empathy that I gave earlier, is that empathy is the ability to put yourself in other shoes. So what you can do is just in your daily life, whenever you see any type of news or around you, like any type of event, whether it's someone close to you or far away from you, in the news or on social media, take a step back and try to put yourself in that person's shoe. Like, always have that reflex, to develop like a muscle, and once you do it all the time, it's become natural. You become empathic. And as how to bridge the gap, it's the same thing, I feel like it's more like a muscle. Like for me personally, I'm in my company. It's true that we are rushing all the time, so we don't really have this process of doing more things ethical, and I feel like in 99% of software companies like this, because that's the reality. The most important thing is not ethics, it's quality of code, remove all the bugs, of course make money, all these things. And ethics isn't really here unless there is a law and you're going to get a fine or worse, and that's the incentive, So where I'm going with this is, as a developer, whenever you have the time to really take a step back and think, you have to develop that muscle where you have to put yourself in the shoes of the end user and also society at large, and think about, is my feature, my product, is there some part of it, all of it, that could be more ethical, that could be more beneficial to the end user and to society. Of course, if you do like something, you work in a small team on a small thing that isn't really harming, reaching a lot of people, you might think it's not useful. But just have this conversation with yourself or your team, or just yourself if you want to, and try to see if you can do better. And if you can't, it's okay. Like you don't have to, you don't have to be ethical to be ethical. Be ethical if it makes sense, if it makes sense, and if you can. And if it makes no sense in what you are doing as a developer because of the specific project that you are doing, then don't do it. Like be smart, work smarter, not harder. So yeah, I don't know if you have time for another question. If you have one, do it now, no or never. Oh, okay. Yes?
What advice would you give when you're in the position where you're faced with that choice? So you can see your company is doing something that's not ethical. What do you actually do?
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm going to go over here because I'm not supposed to cross here, It's a danger zone. So the question was, when you are in the position to make a choice, when your company is doing something that isn't ethical, what should you do? Well, of course, if I'm a good person, I will say, of course you do the right thing. You say, bad you, that's wrong. But, the truth is, if you are in a position where you're not going to see any repercussion because it's a truth, it's a reality, then if inside of you feel like it's the right thing, you should do the right thing. In the sense that I feel like it's not about oh, you should be a good person or a bad person. It's about yourself. Do you feel good with yourself? When you come home at night, do you feel like do inside of you, do you have good feelings regarding what you are doing? Are you well with yourself? It's more about yourself than what the other might think. So if you are in a position to do that, and you deep inside of you, it will bother you to do the wrong thing, then do the right thing. It's about you. It's not about being a good person or a bad person. It's about you at the end of the day. And if you feel like you can go with your hurt and, you know, nothing bad will happen to you, you should do what you feel like you should do. Whether it's staying stop or staying go. I'm not saying be a good person, do you. No other question? Okay, thank you, you guys.